Hey everybody, welcome back. Hollywoodpizza here, and we've got a pretty spicy deck for you today. We're going to be playing some ORZHOV Scam. There's a version of this deck that has been around in Modern for a little bit of some time now, ever since they printed like the Elementals. Essentially what you're trying to do in that deck is you're trying to get a creature into the graveyard, and then get it back with an Undying Malice. Undying Malice says until end of turn, target creature gains whenever this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under certain control, with a +1/+1 counter on it. In this version of the deck, we don't have the free spells that are available in Modern, but we do have some new cards that were printed in Brothers War with the prototypes, like a Phyrexian Fleshgorger, or even a Steel Seraph. So what we're mostly trying to do is we're trying to use any of our sacrifice cards, like a Village Rites, a Deadly Dispute, Rite of Oblivion, anything like that. And then we're going to try to get one of these creatures back as the full-size body, or a big play that we end up doing on turn 2 is we get an Archfiend's Vessel out, and then on turn 2, we can just feign death it, sacrifice it to the Village Rites, and get a 5/5 Demon on turn 2 with flying. Really, really good effect. Draw some cards while we're at it as well. We have Virus Riddle to kind of help disrupt the opponent's hand a little bit. It's really, really good. You can get it down and then make some blocks, use a feign death, or the Undying Malice to get it back, make your opponent kind of discard some cards. You kind of like grind out, value them out a little bit, and then use like a Rite of Oblivion to kind of just get rid of some of their last cards. Tenacious Underdog in the deck as well, helping with a little bit of some value as it is a recursive threat. We also have Eye Twitch, is a card that we haven't seen for quite some time since Old Standard. Just a really, really great card. You can sacrifice it to the Village Rites, just let it die. And it gets a card out of the sideboard to kind of help your value train continue. We also have 3 Thoughtseize, which are just great cards to help kind of see what our opponent's doing and get rid of any problematic removal spells or other cards like counter spells that our opponent could have. A 1-of Touch the Spirit Realm, which helps kind of blink our creatures with that channel ability by turning these into the full-size threats and protecting them. This is a card that we may want to run like a second or third copy of, just because it definitely helps that scam ability where you just get a Fleshgorger down and then you can protect it for 2 mana, and then even if they don't try to kill it, you can just blink it and then get it back as a 7/5 menace lifelink. Kind of help finish up the deck here, we have 2 Depopulates, which essentially help kind of just against any type of aggressive strategy, or if the board's kind of becoming too much of a problem, you can just use a Depopulate, wipe the board. On top of that, Depopulate's really, really great with the Undying Malice and Feign Death strategy. You can just use a Feign Death or Undying Malice on one of your creatures, wipe the board, and then you end up with a pretty big body afterwards. For special lands, we have 1 Hive of the Eye Tyrant, kind of just help with a little bit of some reach for some creatures. And we have the usual like dual land package like Cave of Koilos, Concealed, the Gallus, and the Shattered Sanctum. For a sideboard here, we have 3 Fatal Pushes to help against the aggro decks. We have 2 Unlicensed Hearths and 2 Ley Lines against anything that's going to be graveyard based. And 2 Meat Massacres to help against pretty much any type of aggressive strategy, or if we need a board wipe. Meat Hook can also finish off our opponent by just our own creatures dying, anything like that. Doomscar and Depopulate are kind of in the same realm, where all 4 of these cards are going to be really, really good against any type of aggressive strategy. And we have a few lessons here as well. We have Environmental Sciences, Reduce to Memory, and Necrotic Fumes, Mascot Exhibition to kind of help go over the top. So you can definitely see some pretty good cards here to use with the Eye Twitch. On top of that, cards like Necrotic Fumes already kind of help with what the deck is trying to do by sacrificing one of your creatures to essentially get rid of a problematic permanent, and then get it back with like an Undying Malice. But I know I had a ton of fun playing this deck. It's definitely like a little bit of a work in progress, but I definitely think that you should try and kind of tell me what you think in the comments below, what it needs, what it's missing, anything like that. But let's go and jump into some games and see how we do. Gonna be on the draw here, and I actually think this is a pretty keepable hand. We have an early play, a way to get it back as a demon. Hitting an Eye Twitch is pretty good. I think I'd rather have the Archfiend's Vessel, though. It actually looks like we may be up against mono green. Okay, maybe the Grohl Boat deck. Burning Tree. Okay, interesting. So we're actually up against the Bard class deck. And we do hit an Undying Malice, which is nice, so... Or excuse me, a Village Rite. So we're just going to pass. We can Undying Malice to Archfiend's Vessel, make it a 5/5, and then play... I guess we can't play Steel Seraph now, though, which is a bit unfortunate. And they could combo on us a little bit. No attacks, okay. I mean, it seems really good on their end. They didn't know what we were going to do, but... We'll go ahead and just get a 5/5 Demon here on turn 2, draw a couple cards. We hit a land. And it's definitely a land that we want to see. So we're just going to come in for 5. And pass the turn. We can Malice on the eye twitch, seems okay. We have a lot of flying damage. We're at 20 still. They probably pump both of these up. Twitch does come back as a 2/2, so it might be worth doing. And we'll get... Let's see, we can get Reduced to Memory, Sciences, the Fumes, or even the Exhibition. Okay, Raja, sure. Still no reach. I mean, we can block. So we steal Seraph next turn. We can block. And get Reduced to Memory or Necrotic Fumes. I think we block because we're kind of racing. It comes back as a 2/2. We'll get a card out of the sideboard that we want. So let's grab... Let's grab Necrotic Fumes in case that's what we want to do. Still think we Seraph here. We just give this Lifelink or Vigilance maybe. Vigilance makes it a good blocker. No, let's gain some life. 7, we're at 20. Hmm. 8. Just coming in for 5. Gaining 5 back. They could potentially kill the Seraph. They have a lot of mana because Rishkar lets them all tap for mana, but luckily our Flyers were able to get there that game. I think we want some board wipes against this deck. Depopulate's a little bit rough because it lets them draw their cards back. So let's bring in the Doomscar. I think Virus Beetle might be just a little bit too slow against them. We'll bring in the other Depopulate. We want the Fatal Pushes for this matchup. We can cut down on the scam cards potentially. Or maybe even like an Underdog, but we want Underdog because it does a lot of work. I think we get rid of the Feign Deaths. Or maybe even the Thought Seizes. Maybe we keep the Feign Deaths. 2 Beetles, something like this, so that way we still have something to sacrifice. And the Beetle could wear them down a little bit. It's still a good blocker. And it's still like food for our sacrifice redraws, so it's going to be a card that we're going to want there, I think. Let's see how we do in this matchup. I think we keep this. It's a little bit weak, but I don't think it's that bad. We have a way to sacrifice this. We're really looking for a scam card here, so that way we can scam out a 5/5 real quick on them. They might have the Burning Tree again into the Bard class, unfortunately, so expecting this play again here. Yep, there's a Bard class, and they might end up emptying their hand. We had a Deadly Dispute, which is pretty nice. I think we play this as a white source, and we pass. If they end up emptying their hand, we just have a Depopulate. Like, yeah, they'll get a redraw, but all their cards will die. I would rather almost like get the Flesh Gorger and a scam card out before I do all that. Okay, Burning Tree, so still... Excuse me, still not necessarily, like, under pressure. Excuse me. Okay, there's a Hajar. So they can make their legendaries indestructible. I think we block. and we Deadly Dispute. We really want to hit this board wipe, and we have the third land plus the treasure that we're getting from the Deadly Dispute. We have a Fatal Push as well, so we don't take any damage. We'll untap. We also could Flesh Gorger, maybe try to hit a land, but I think it's Depopulate. They get a redraw, unfortunately. We get to kill some of their creatures here. And just give me one moment, I do apologize. And I do apologize, sorry if you're hearing a really loud noise right now. And we're gonna go ahead. And I think we have to play the Flesh Gorger. It's a little bit annoying. Or we could Beetle. Beetle, they don't really have as many cards left. We play this Malakir Rebirth tapped. And then we still have Fatal Push here. Yeah, let's just play this tapped and pass the turn back. They hit a Coco, which is pretty good. We have a Fatal Push, though. All they hit is Goro Goro. That's fine. We'll just pass. They hit another Bard class. It's okay. And they hit a Raja. And they're going to give everything haste. This has first strike, though. So they can give haste. We'll go to blocks. Go to first strike damage. Fatal Push here. We'll take the 3. And then now we can set up Flesh Gorger plus the Feign Death. Pass the turn back. Wow, so they're going to level Bard class all the way up. Do they have a legendary creature they can cast for free? They do not. And if they attack, we're trading here. Yep, we'll go ahead and Feign Death. Make a block. We'll trade. Gain some life, and then we get this back as an 8/6. So our opponent's definitely in some trouble. We have a second Flesh Gorger now. We're going to come in for 8. I think we just pass. I mean, you know, they can get some legendary creatures, but we can also kill some of them. And our opponent at 9 means that they can't really target our cards. Both of our cards have Menace. So they're going to level up here. They do hit a Collected Company, which is pretty scary. Alright, and they hit 2 legendaries, which are pretty good. We hit a Depopulate. So they have to double block. The bigger Flesh Gorger. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7. So we can kill Grumgully. Yeah, I actually think we have to do this. And then we just come in for 8. So we make our opponent have to have an answer for the Flesh Gorger. We still have a Village Rites. I Depopulate his backup if it comes down to that. They're going to get to ping us, gain some life, but we have an 8/6. That's going to be a little bit harder to deal with. There's a Rite of Oblivion. Sure, it's gone. It's okay. They play 1 creature, we're in some trouble because they'll have 2 blocks. Yep, there's the Raja. So Bard class, unfortunately, gets them a Chain Web as well. So Klothys is going to be active here. We're looking for like an Undying card, so that way we can just kill the board. They do get a redraw, though, off the depopulate. Or a Steel Seraph would be really good here. A lot of good draws in our deck. Yeah, Touch the Spirit Realm is pretty good. Exile here. They have to block with both. They still can't kill it. Chainweb dies. They get Chainweb back as a bigger card. I think we just pass. Yeah, unfortunately, I think we gotta say go. We gotta set up something where I think end step we just blink this. Depopulate on our turn. So that way we can kill their cards. And then this comes back. Okay, there's another Coco, so that's playing a little bit better into the game plan that we want. Okay, they just hit some more cards, it's fine. We have some pretty good blocks with this 8-6, right? It's got lifelink. Just looking to hit a Steel Seraph. Okay, each one of those gets a counter, sure. Get a land, so they can pump up the Raja. Like, that's fine. They can't do it right now unless they tapped out for it. So I think we just exile this. We can depopulate, wipe most of the board. I mean, they can make some mana. That's fine. We get a redraw. And we get our 8-6 back. A lot of different ways to win here. Excuse me, it's going to be a 7-5 now. That's fine, they get some 1-1s. Alright, bit of a tough matchup now. They're going to go up to 7. So really need to hit the Steel Seraph here for the win. Okay, Hajar, they get some more redraws. So they're definitely starting to outvalue us here. Yeah, they have quite a lot of things. They even have the Unlicensed Hearse, which definitely a bit problematic for us. Gonna get to exile some cards. They have Questing Beast. We're at 30. Do they just have a removal spell, though? Looks like they have Obliterating Bolt. But they have to pay the life to kill it. So unless they can gain some life right now... Yeah, it just gets countered. I guess they weren't thinking about that, which is really good for us, obviously. Alright, Burning Tree, sure. I was about to say, if they want to pay the 7, they definitely can. They're more than welcome to, Unlicensed Hearse. I mean, our opponent just has literally everything we just need. Flying right now would be really, really great. It would win us the game. We're going to take the 6 here, no blocks. No blocks. Gonna take the damage. Hit another Flesh Gorger. It's not bad. Let's just play it. And just pass it back. This Clothis is now getting a little bit annoying. And our opponent has some good attacks. If they play some legendaries, they get some more card advantage. Still not out of the game yet, but it's obviously slipping away from us here. Yeah, one of our 2 Steel Seraphs would definitely be great, even if... I guess they would have potentially a removal spell for it, though. Okay, they're actually going to get the Chain Web now. It makes me pretty happy, so our Steel Seraph can at least stay on the battlefield. Let's see if they go for an all-out attack here. Still just 6. And the 5/5, so all these creatures are going to get big. So, let's see, nothing has trample, though. We'll just block here in Village Rites, hoping to try to hit the card that we need. So, yeah, they can double that up, sure, that's fine. Just need to hit a Seraph. It's not guaranteed win, though. Okay, 2 lands, not where we want to be. So we go down to 6. And we just hit a Malice, so... Malice would have been really good there, just because we've been able to have 2 Flesh Gorgers, but... Opponent was definitely able to grind us down there. We didn't really have any other removal spells. Maybe we want the Meat Hooks. Meat Hook is an expensive board wipe, though. I think we're pretty good. Maybe needed a couple other Fatal Pushes. I mean, we were really close to just killing them. We had them, you know, pretty low on life. Just got a little bit unlucky that maybe we drew some lands in between, but... Let's see if we can get a pretty quick start here. I think we'll keep this. We have our Archfiend's Vessels. We can turn into demons with the Undying Malice. It goes through Obliterating Bolt, which is nice, because it's a 5/5, so let's get some Vessels down. Start a little bit of some beatdown that way. And we can actually get the 5/5 down pretty early because we have the Village Rites plus the Undying Malice, so I think we're just going to do that. Start the combo. Yep, let's go ahead and Malice. We'll go ahead and Village Rites, get a 5/5 flyer, draw 2 cards. Okay, seems pretty good. They get a Bard class down. We hit a Depopulate. We'll just play Flesh Gorger. It's just a card that they have to deal with. We're definitely on the aggression now. If they tap out for their Bard class, they're pretty much almost dead at this point. And we have a Touch the Spirit Realm that's going to be able to blink our Flesh Gorger if it actually stays out and we get to untap. So things are looking really good right now for us. Okay, gonna level up. And they just hit a Targ. And a Goro Goro. That's fine. So let's see, we can pay some life. I think we have to. Gonna crash in with both. They're gonna take it? That's fine. We'll play this. And we'll pass. Everything's at instant speed, so there's no reason to use any of our tricks right now. We'd rather just wait to see if they kind of go overboard here a little bit, which they might. And our opponent's just going to concede. We just had a really, really quick start there. You can definitely see how just getting that 5/5 demon on turn 2 is just really, really powerful, and you can kind of run away with the game. So we'll go ahead and see it for the next match. Gonna be on the play for this one here. And it's a little bit awkward, but I'm actually just gonna keep it because we have enough mana to cast our cards. And anything that we really draw that's gonna be low to the ground is gonna be phenomenal because we can curve it out with the Steel Seraph. If not, we just have a 3/3 flyer for 3 that could potentially deal our opponent a lot of damage. So let's go ahead and start off with the Sanctum. Pass a turn back. Hoping to dodge a Thoughtseize. We've been seeing quite a bit here. Ooh, unfortunately, we're up against Control, so gonna be a hard matchup for sure. Especially considering we don't have a quick start, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and get this Eye Twitch down. That way we can abuse it a little bit with the Village Rites and the Malakir Rebirth. They might have a cycled Censor here. Okay, no Censor. And they're just going to pass back. I think we just Village Rites. Nah, I don't think I want to do it. I think I'd rather Thoughtseize. Let's see what they got. Could have a counterspell here. Yep, there's the Absorb. Just gonna get in for one and we'll pass. We want to hold up the Steel Seraph with this Rebirth. Opponent tapping out is kind of a little bit unlikely, obviously. Yeah, and they might even just have like a Wandering Emperor here. That'd be a bit annoying. I think we're coming in, though. Seeing what our opponent does. And there's a Wandering Emperor. Luckily, we have a Deadly Dispute here to sacrifice the Eye Twitch. And we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll get some value off of the Eye Twitch itself. We'll grab... We want the Necrotic Fumes. Let's get the Reduced to Memory. I think we'll play the Seraph. If they destroy it, we can get it back with the Rebirth. Obviously, an Exile effect would be a bit annoying here. Let's see if they keep their Wandering Emperor around. 5 mana, maybe they Teferi. If they have an Exile spell, it's going to be a little bit frustrating. Okay, gonna uptick. And just gonna pass. I'm guessing that they have another Wandering Emperor. If they do, it doesn't really matter. We can just give this Vigilance and attack here. So they need like a Settle the Wreckage. If they have another Wandering Emperor, that's fine. Still not really a big deal. They hit a Shark token. Okay. It's pretty good. They get the block. We'll get it back. So we trade with the Shark. We'll get back a 5/4. And... I think I'm okay playing this Virus Beetle. It's a little bit awkward, but we get to take a card out of their hand, get something on the battlefield to get rid of Jwari. We still have 2 of our black spells open with the Deadly Dispute and the Village Rites. Probably play the Deadly Dispute first because it gives us the most mana. Yeah, so we're just going to Deadly Dispute here. We'll sacrifice the Beetle, really looking for any type of scam card. That way we can just get our Steel Seraph back. Unfortunately, not gonna happen this time. Let's Village Rites. Draw 2 more cards, so definitely a bit unfortunate. And we still don't hit our scam card here, so the Wandering Emperor is gonna get to stick out, make a Samurai. Definitely a bit unfortunate for us here. We hit another Village Rites. So we can exile this. Let's Thoughtseize. See what our opponent has here. Yeah, I mean, Shark Typhoon's pretty good. Teferi's also really good. I think we just take the Teferi, though. We play an Eye Twitch. And we just pass back. It's a bit awkward. They have March that can get rid of something. If they hardcast the Shark Typhoon, we can just exile it with Reduced to Memory, which they know about. So it's probably highly unlikely that they cast it. Probably just looking for the instant speed Shark here. Okay, gonna uptick there on the Samurai. I'm just gonna take it. And they just top deck a Teferi anyways. Pretty good draw from our opponent there. And sacrifice the Eye Twitch. Sacrifice the Eye Twitch for some value. But they have the Dovin's veto as well. Man, it's going to be really hard here to overcome what our opponent's doing here. I think we're just going to do this. We can get... Let's get the Necrotic Fumes. Nice. Oops, sorry about that, folks. And Teferi. Yep, gonna uptick. I mean, they have enough mana to kind of just stop everything we do. We hit a land, which is fine. Yeah. I mean, we're going to try to kill Teferi here. Let's see what they do. Yep, there's the veto. That's fine. And we just exile the Teferi by sacrificing the Archfiend. We play another Vessel. We have some answers for their cards. Probably wanted a Necrotic Fumes instead. I guess they countered that. We still have Rite of Oblivion to get rid of the Shark Typhoon if they hardcast it. So they're kind of like in this weird spot. I mean, making a really big shark could potentially kill me. But we know that they don't have a counterspell, so we can just resolve this Steel Seraph just fine. And then we would really just need a Touch of the Spirit Realm to get rid of the token. Which would be really, really phenomenal, honestly. Like, these are all obviously the draws that we're looking for here. That way we can kind of play around what most of our opponent's doing. They needed... No, they have enough mana to do this on the Angel, unfortunately. I think we have to take this. No blocks. It's fine. And let's see what they do. Let's see, they can make a 5/5 shark. It's pretty good. We play this as a 5/4. Land, not ideal. It's definitely something. But they may end up tapping out to kill it. It doesn't really matter here. We could have also used the Necrotic Fumes on the Wandering Emperor. But I think I like getting the Seraph. Maybe they tap out for this to make another Samurai. We block, but then if we block, we're in a pretty bad spot. I mean, we really want them to make the shark here. No attacks. And we'll pass. Maybe it was better to get rid of this. Not really entirely sure there. I mean, that would have been the only spell we played. Like, we could have played this as a 3/3, but we know it just loses to the shark. So we're probably going to have to block with the Archfiend's Vessel. Yep, there's a 5/5, sure. They can make it a 6/6 from the Wandering Emperor, which is a bit annoying. And we need some more permanents in play. We can't take the damage that our opponent's offering here. And they also have a March. I mean, they can kind of just get rid of our cards here if they need to. And come in for some damage. Gaining a life's kind of irrelevant, considering they're already at high life. And gonna uptick on the shark here. Yep, gonna come in for 6. We're just gonna take it. We can block and Village Rites on the vessel. Hoping to dodge a removal spell here for the Seraph. I guess we know they have March, so... Touch of the Spirit Realm would still be the ideal play, so long as they don't kill this. I mean, if they do, we're kind of just out of the game either way. And we hit a land. We can try to gain some life, but we know that they have March, so... This is definitely going to be a really, really tough matchup. Our deck's a little bit slower, so we're not going to get, you know, quick starts against control. And we kind of don't really even have much to sideboard here. We can't really bring in the pushes. The board wipes don't really do anything. Hearts is okay. You can make an argument for Meat Hook against the board wipes, but we're mostly just looking to get a really, really quick start on our opponent. And then maybe even blank Supreme Verdict with one of our Undying cards. We can get back one of our threats and kind of just start to punish our opponent for that. But as you can see, you know, a matchup like this is going to be tough. We don't really have too many ways to really beat control. I think control does get played a good amount on the ladder. We definitely run into it a lot myself. Like a lot of the time, at least once a night, we're probably going to play against a blue-white deck. So it's definitely out there. You know, if you're looking for like a sideboard, if you think that that's like a matchup that you're going to see a lot more, then you definitely want to play those Duresses or, you know, some kind of like more like hand hate or cards like Tenacious Underdog that are recursive threats that can continually come back and put pressure on your opponent, whether it be early or even potentially even later in the game, just because the opponent's got to have some more answers for those cards. So could be a mistake not having taken out the Duresses earlier or not playing enough underdogs maybe in the sideboard, but I still think that this match is winnable. We just need a really good start. Obviously need some things to go right for us, but it's definitely possible. Yeah, Bankbuster is an option as well. It's pretty good because we can crew it with one of our 3-drops, right? Or like if we get the demon out early too, we can kind of use that if need be. Looks like our opponent is potentially taking up the whole time to sideboard here. So they may have gone to grab a sandwich. You never really know. Now let's see what our opponent has here. Still in the sideboarding phase. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, bell notification, like, leave a comment down below. And in the description, you can find information for all my content as well as the 3 tournaments that we host a month, all free to play. So definitely check that out. Gonna be on the play, seeing as how we lost the first one. This hand's fine. We've got some cards. Touch of the Spirit Realm. Could potentially be a card that's going to be useful here. Gonna start off with the Concealed Courtyard into the Vessel. And then play the Virus Beetle. Start to beat down for 2 damage. We can even blink the Virus Beetle through a board wipe to potentially make our opponent discard some more cards, which is definitely what we want to be doing in this matchup. Eye Twitch is a great draw. We could potentially just play that now. I think I would rather play the Beetle, knowing that the Beetle's going to guarantee get a card. If they're tapped out, we don't just want to run the Beetle into a Censor. We'd rather pay 2 life next turn, maybe play the Eye Twitch and hold up the Touch of the Spirit Realm. And they get rid of a Dovin's Veto, which is pretty good. Obviously, Depopulate, not the best card in our deck, but it's definitely still something here. And I think we can just play this T-Dog. Opponent does not have any counter spells. We can play the Eye Twitch. And we have a good amount of board presence. What I really like is that at least we get some value from the Eye Twitch if our opponent decides to wipe. Lockdown there would have been really, really bad for us. And we'll come in for some damage. We have a Touch of the Spirit Realm and a Malakir Rebirth that we're about to use here if our opponent has like a removal of some sort. If they have a board wipe, then we can just bring back the Underdog and potentially blank this Virus Beetle to make our opponent discard another card. Looks like maybe they just have a Wandering Emperor. We can play around the Wandering Emperor a little bit. Because we have Touch of the Spirit Realm. Okay, they're actually going to cycle the Typhoon. That's fine. Okay, so they're going to take more damage, which is great. And I actually think that we bring this back. So we get our opponent down to 7. We make them discard another card. Fortunately, we can just touch the Spirit Realm potentially on the Underdog. But Underdog does come back, so maybe we do it on the Beetle. Wow, Baneslayer Angel, okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Unfortunately, we hit another Depopulate, but we're able to get rid of this Baneslayer for the time being. We'll go ahead and swing out. And we're actually going to play the Rebirth as the land, because this means that even if they do board wipe, we have a Tenacious Underdog. Wow, another Baneslayer though. That's a bit tough. So they go up to 8, but we have the Depopulate. So that's definitely something here. We'll get some value off the eye twitch at least. Let's get Necrotic Fumes, potentially. Mascot Exhibition's pretty good. Yeah, maybe we get to the Mascot Exhibition. Let's put this tapped, pass turn back. Obviously, the Underdog, like, let's say they pass, then they either have this or... Ooh, so they're going to get their Baneslayer back. Let's see if they have a counterspell for this Depopulate. They have an instant speed spell. And if they have just like a Aura Disruption, it's not going to do it. Alright, so we get to kill the Baneslayer. We'll pass the turn back. And they did have a Censor, but luckily we had the mana for it. Alright, here's Teferi. Teferi gets to untap 2 lands and a redraw. So we're really hoping to dodge some kind of removal spell for the Underdog here. They have 3 cards in hand. Wandering Emperor would be pretty annoying. We could steal Seraph. I think we just go for it, though. If they have it, they have it. Could have a counterspell here. Okay, cycling a Censor. Underdog resolves. And we hit our opponent for exact. So at least we get a game 3 here against control. Depopulate definitely came in handy because we were able to kill the Baneslayer. Yeah, I mean, I think we keep the deck the same. We have enough removal spells for the cards that they play. They probably keep those Baneslayers in, but if they're going to keep tapping out for them, we're potentially just going to have the answer. And we're looking for a quick start. We're going to be on the draw. So just any early threats, like how we had last game, are going to be great. The Beetle definitely wore down the opponent's hand just enough so that the Underdog can come in there. You can kind of see how, you know, they had to dig a bit deep to find the correct answers that they needed. And I actually think this hand's great. We have Vessel, the Village Rites to follow it up to kind of get some redraws with it. Rite of Oblivion to remove anything that's problematic. And a turn 3 Phyrexian Fleshgorger, which could potentially make our opponent pay some life just to be able to remove it. And if we get like a Scam card, any type of Undying card in between there, it's going to be really, really good in protecting the Fleshgorger and making sure that it comes back as a bigger threat. So going to be on the draw. I think we have to keep this hand. A little bit unfortunate that our game 3 we're going to be a little bit slower, but... And we have a Thoughtseize. I think I'd rather go for the Vessel first. Okay, they have a Consider. I'd rather do this knowing that we can set up a Thoughtseize plus the Village Rites turn next turn. Wow, we hit double Thoughtseize, so let's Thoughtseize now. And we can take an Absorb because that's going to be the next card that they can play. Supreme Verdict is good, but they're 2 lands off from being able to play it. So let's attack, and we'll pass. If they don't hit a land, then we have a Phyrexian Fleshgorger, and our opponent concedes. Able to take that match down. on a little bit of some luck, but you know what? It definitely happens. We'll see you for the next one.
This video is brought to you by MagicJank.com, the spiciest cards for your sauciest decks. Buy and sell Magic the Gathering products and gear today on MagicJank.com.
Looking for the latest comic book to add to your collection? How about the last card for that Magic the Gathering Commander deck? Well, the comic book stores got you covered. Shop online at comicbookstore.tcgplayerpro.com or come in person at 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey. Pizza people, are you enjoying the content? Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Hit that bell icon as well. That way, anytime any of our new content comes out, you're able to see it right away. Hey, leave a comment down below as well. Tell us what you're going to play in the next event, or tell us what you're enjoying about the video. Don't forget, check out the description too. We've got tons of great content down below. And on top of that, we're going to have our tournament schedule too. So get in on it. Hope to see you. Going to be on the play here with some more ORZHOV Scam. Yeah, this hand's phenomenal. We have a turn 2 5/5 Demon and redraw. 2 cards, which is always what we want to be doing on turn 2. Kind of turbo out the Archfiend's Vessel. Looks like our opponent could potentially be on mono green. I highly doubt that they're going to block, so we get in for 1 lifelink here, which is really nice. If they did block, I think we still go for the Malice plus the Village Rites. And they're potentially going to get an Old Growth Troll here. We'll see if they do. Wow, maybe they just have Wolfwillow Haven? No Wolfwillow Haven. Pretty interesting. Let's Malice. And then Village Rites for a 5/5. Get a redraw, hoping to hit like a Flesh Gorger or something, that way we can play it. And then use the touch on it to get a better threat. So we'll get a 5/5, we get to draw 2 cards, another Village Rites isn't bad as protection. In case our opponent does have a removal spell. Obviously it's a bit unfortunate that we're not able to... Can also touch the Llanowar Elf. You know what? It's a really weird play, but I think it's okay. Because let's say that they're saving up for a turn 4 play, then this is going to be really, really good. They might have like a Snakeskin Veil here, which would be a bit awkward. But we're cutting them off of their mana, and this deck ends up being very mana hungry. So they're not able to play a turn 4 card. Okay, but they have a Boseiju, which does ramp us a little bit here. So let's go and get a Godless Shrine tapped. We hit an Undying Malice. Unfortunately, that's not really the card we want to see here. But we do have some redraws with the Village Rites, so, you know, if our 5/5 does end up dying here, at least we can get a redraw from it. And if they have Cavalier, yep, it's going to be a little bit rough on us here, unfortunately. But they get back a Nykthos, so... yeah, it's a bit rough. Okay, so we hit the Flesh Gorger. I think we play the Flesh Gorger now. Wow, we really want to kill this. Because they might be able to get... I think I'm going to pass. I kind of have to take this chance. Okay, green mana, sure. Secura, that's fine. Obviously scary. Yep. Probably Storm the Festival here. Yep. There's a Storm Festival, so a lot of this that we're doing now, we're hoping they miss. And they hit a creature, which is good. Do they have another Nykthos? Just a Mystic. No attacks. Let's just Undying Malice this. Sack it to the Village Rites. Get it back as an 8/6. We hit 2 cards. We hit a Virus Beetle. So we play the Virus Beetle. They have to discard a card. We're going to exile this, sacrificing the beetle. They have to use all their cards to kill the Flesh Gorger or make a double block. Or we just attack with this. If we attack, they have to double block, right? Let's say they just double block like this, or if they triple block, then they don't have as much mana left. I think we like have to attack. It's definitely a bit awkward. Maybe we just come in for 5 and then hope that this is enough to kill them. They can flashback to Storm the Festival, untap some lands. Nah, maybe we just make them have to block. But if they hit another Cavalier, it's going to be really bad. Yeah, let's just come in for the guaranteed 5. Yeah, I really might have wanted to do that there, but in all honesty, I'm not sure. They still would be able to cast. Alright, so they just have Storm the Festival after Storm the Festival here. Okay, they hit a Nissa, so they have a lot of mana. They can recast the other Storm the Festival. Really might have been a mistake not attacking with both. I'm not sure, though. So they untap the Nykthos. Gonna make a lot more mana here. They play Storm the Festival again. And they do hit a Karn. They get a redraw. Can they do something about what we have? We're gonna find out. We are gonna find out. If they want to target the Flesh Gorger, it does cost them life, so they can't do that. We're looking to hit a Steel Seraph because it could give the Flesh Gorger flying. Okay, Portal. Wow, yeah, they can play the Portal. Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate. And then they can just get Flesh Gorger back. Yeah, they can just make the mana here, so... Fortunately, mono green, doing mono green things. We got pretty close to killing our opponent, but they were definitely able to do what their deck is supposed to do a lot better than we were. Let's bring in the Fatal Pushes. I think the Depopulates are good here, too. We can cut... Underdog is pretty good because it could be a little bit aggressive. I think we cut one of our Feign Deaths. And... let's see... And... what do we want to cut here? I guess Underdog really isn't like that crazy in this matchup. It is a bit aggressive, but we have a lot of other cards that are doing crazy stuff, so let's try to cut those, and then let's see how this match goes for us. Gonna be on the play. This hand's really, really close. We have a couple 1-drops. We're one land away from really being able to do some things. I think we'll keep it. I think we'll try it. Opponent's on the mulligan. I think we'll try it. We'll go ahead and get the Eye Twitch down in all reality because we would rather Deadly Dispute that to go get an Environmental Sciences. Alright, and we do hit this here so we can start attacking. And... do we just Vessel and then Deadly Dispute it later? Yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's fine. We also have a Depopulate if the board state gets really out of control. Okay, they have their Old Growth Troll, which is really good. So we hit a Deadly Dispute and or excuse me, we hit a Rite of Oblivion, which we can use on the Old Growth Troll. We come in with both. No, we come in with the Eye Twitch. We Rite of Oblivion the Old Growth Troll. Sacrificing the Eye Twitch. We'll go get an Environmental Sciences. And we'll pass turn back. I guess we could have gained a lifelink there. Maybe they have a Karn. Yep, there's a Karn. So unfortunately our Deadly Dispute gets a lot worse. And they hit a Cityscape Leveler. We want to go get a land. We'll play it. Definitely some weak plays here, but it's kind of all we got right now. A little bit screwed on some mana, so we kind of had to go the long way to go get a land. Still have Flesh Gorger. Still have some plays we can make, though. There's a Cavalier. We can exile that with the Rite of Oblivion. And get a 5/5 out of it as well that flies. So trying to keep the opponent off of resources here. Alright, we draw the land, which is great. So let's Rite of Oblivion this. Alright, first we got an Undying. We'll Rite of Oblivion here, sacrificing the Archfiend's Vessel. So we get a 5/5 Demon. We'll exile the Cavalier. And we'll pass the turn back. We still have Rites of Oblivions and some depopulates here. I mean, they're getting closer to hitting the Cityscape Leveler, unfortunately. 4, 5, 6, 7. So they need one more mana. There's an Old Growth Troll as well. We hit Virus Beetle. Well, we can wipe the board. We kill Karn. We wipe the board. They still get some mana from it, so they might just be able to cast a Leveler. Yep, there's a Leveler, unfortunately. We don't have a way to discard their last card. We just have Virus Beetle. They top deck a land, they get to get the portal online. Okay, Old Growth Troll. They're just gonna attack, try to destroy the Virus Beetle. We'll sacrifice it to draw some new cards, take the 8. Okay, so we hit a Rebirth. That's actually not bad. Right, on the Cityscape Leveler, they blow this up. 8, that's 12. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but we gotta do what we gotta do here. Let's just exile the Leveler. They can play the portal. We'll take 4. Grinding it out a little bit here with the deck still. Not really many crazy creatures they can get back, luckily. Unless we hit like our Flesh Gorger down. Alright, so we hit the land. We're just gonna play it. Pass it back. If we draw a land, we can Flesh Gorger with the Rite of Oblivion. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that. And our opponent has a Nissa, so still pretty tough here, obviously. Still have a chance, though, in this game. They don't have any good attacks because we have a 7/5 lifelinker. Wow, depopulate. Well, if we depopulate, they get it back. Definitely a bit frustrating. Not my favorite play ever, but something that we have to do. Let's exile the portal, that way they don't get any more value from it. They already got enough with the beetle. Considering we really needed that scam card there to have a better turn, because we could have just depopulated and gotten the Flesh Gorger back. Still no good attacks here. We got some lifelink. Steel Seraph is great. Definitely a card we want to see right now. Just going to hard cast it. We're going to give this flying. Kill the Nissa. Gain some life. We go back up to 15. And we have a lot of flying. And we have a pretty decent block against one of the lands. Unfortunately, opponent going for Storm the Festival. They hit a Karn. And unfortunately, they can just untap the Nykthos with the Nissa. They can get back the Phyrexian Portal and just do a lot. Okay, they decide on the Shadow Spear, which is interesting. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. They can play it, equip it, make that a 5/5. Okay. And attack with just that. No blocks. We take it. We go to 10. They go to 23. Wow, that was really, really good there. So we want to give this flying. I think we keep the Gorger too. I could be wrong. They're going to have a lot of mana next turn either way. So we'll give it flying. We can kill the Nissa, kill the Karn. Well, Undying Malice on the Flesh Gorger. It's a bigger threat. The Steel Seraph is really good because it gives flying. The Flesh Gorger does get around things. And it's going to get a +1/+1 counter, so... Yep, everything dies. They get to pump up one of their other forests, so they still have a lot of devotion, but... We have an 8/6 Menace lifelinker. Opponent's just going to go straight for the Storm the Festival here. Okay, they hit a Lovestruck Beast. That can definitely block. They can not cast another Storm the Festival. They can put this on the Lovestruck Beast. So, yeah, I mean, Shadow Spear is still coming in handy for our opponent here. They're going to get to gain some life back. We hit a Vessel, which is fine. I mean, I think we just swing. We gain a lot of life back. Obviously, they have the Storm the Festival now, which is really bad. Wow, they actually drew one, so that's really good for them. Yep, they hit a Cavalier and the Kiora to untap their Nykthos. So unfortunately, it looks like our opponent is going to be doing mono green things again here. So they get to untap. Let's see where their Storm the Festival ends up. If they end up whiffing, then we still have a chance in this game. Right now, it's looking a bit like we don't, and unfortunately, they do hit the Karn here. So they have a lot going on. They get some redraws, probably down tick on the Karn and go get kind of like whatever they want here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can go get a Colossus and blow up our Flesh Gorger, unfortunately. So we needed to populate. It's kind of like the only thing that keeps us in the game right now. Could have also gone for like a 2-turn hit here, but they were at 23. I mean, that was a pretty high amount of life. And let's see what they're getting. Opponent definitely contemplating here. I mean, they can just get any of their big threats here. If they get the leveler, I think we kind of just have to concede. So let's see what they hit here. Alright, they hit a Pestilence Cauldron. So let's see what they do with that. And they're just going to start the chain going. Yeah, we'll go ahead and concede. No reason to kind of make them go through that. So, lost that match, but overall the deck's been performing really well.